Welcome to the Straight Out of Home Video podcast, part of the Geeky Waffle Network. This week's episode is Cinderella 2, Dreams Come True. I'm Candace, and with me are my co-hosts, Brie.
Hello.
Vanessa.
Hey.
And we're really excited to have one of our Geeky Waffle writers, Brew, here with us today.
Yay.
Brew, you chose this movie. The question is, why?
So really quick, so when I growing up, I did not have access to like the official Disney movies. So my mom bought me like all of the sequels to all the movies first. So I got to see Lion King 2. I saw The Little Mermaid 2, which is one of my favorites, and Cinderella 2 was my utmost favorite out of all of that. I saw Cinderella 2 before I saw Cinderella. So I used to replay this movie over and over and over again. The song is still stuck in my head, Bippity Boppity remake.
Oh no,
so,
no,
It's now something that I can never unhear.
Like you never wanted to hear like the Cher auto tune on the words Bippity Boppity Boo, but it happened for your viewing. It's so good.
Everyone
has
has this to look forward to if they so choose to watch this movie.
This is one of the greats.
Cinderella 2 Dreams Come True was released on DVD and VHS in February 26, 2002. 52 years after the original came out.
Okay, yeah, I was looking at that too. I was like, why did they feel the need at this particular moment to release a Cinderella 2?
I think they were just looking for sequels to do.
Yeah, because around the time, I think Pocahontas 2 had just came out. But also, everybody knows the, what's the word I'm looking for? Everyone knows the misogynistic undertone of the first Cinderella. So I think they tried their best to really, like, try to, like, hey, we're just kidding. We're not talking about misogyny, you know? She is a strong woman, too. So I think that's kind of why they did Cinderella 2.
Which is funny because I feel like there are still like misogynistic, I mean maybe not misogynistic, but definitely sexist tones the entire time.
Oh, for sure.
100%.
Especially in that first story.
Speaking of which, what I like to do when Brie is on the show is allow them to give a short summary, as short as possible.
I will try be
in your words. In your words, Brie.
So Cinderella 2, The Land of Dreams, is 3 short stories in one. It's weird. The mice really want the fairy godmother to read them another story, and she's like, I don't have any more stories. Why don't you write one? And they're like, woo, we'll write one. And apparently mice and magic don't mix. And besides that, they talk about the first day that they're in the castle, and Cinderella has to throw a banquet, and there's some uppity.
The woman.
Yeah, the woman. She's the princess now, so she has to do all the throwing events. And I don't know. There's this woman named Prudence who has like a stick up her ass, and then like the second story is Jock turning into a human, even though they don't even turn him into the same color he was as a mouse. And then the third story is about Anastasia, the stepsister, falling in love with a poor little baker. And poor guy, he's gonna be stuck with that girl.
Okay,
for a bit. But yeah, it's essentially the story, and then there's a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo remix at the end.
A lot in these Disney, any of these kids' things, is characters from the original want to be told the story of something they lived.
Oh, yeah. Except Timon and Pumbaa did it better.
Oh, Beauty and the Beast and the Enchanted Christmas. Chip is like, tell me the story of last year.
When I was terrorized.
Like he wasn't there.
Well, and I love the whole like thing at the beginning, because they're like, we could write a story. And then 5 seconds later, they said, well, you know what? We don't know any good stories. How can we write a story? And it's like, you were just super excited to write a story.
Well, I guess mice are not the smartest.
But, okay, I need to bring up one key point here.
Okay.
So I am convinced that what the fairy godmother was reading them was a story. There's no debating that. But what they were doing afterwards with the crayon and the glue and all, it was not a book. They were not writing,
They were doing a scrapbook.
It's a scrapbook because mice don't know how to write regular words.
Their best.
They were trying their utmost best, but that was a scrapbook. Like, it wasn't something that, Stephanie Myers would write.
No, that's on par with Stephanie Myers.
Oh my goodness. I was like, I don't get it. It's a scrapbook. How are they supposed to read this to Cinderella?
I don't know. How do mice talk? I mean,
well, I know, but that's the thing. It wasn't that they were reading it to Cinderella. Cinderella was actually going to read it to them. They brought it to her. How is she going to, like, I guess she can see the pictures and sort of be like, oh yeah, I do remember this time. So I guess I'll just make up the story.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just go to the beginning. Okay, the first story. The prince who still does not have a name.
Oh, or a personality.
Cinderella doesn't even, we still don't know her real name.
Her name is Cinderella Charming.
Cinderella. What a basic pumpkin spice latte name.
That is exactly. And his name is first name Prince, last name Charming. I think that's great.
Interesting fact, the voice of the prince in this movie is Christopher Daniel Barnes, who is Prince Eric in The Little Mermaid.
Oh. Because I know who plays Cinderella now. It's Jennifer Hale, who did
awesome.
Avatar Kyoshi and a few of the voices in Totally Spies, because I love that show.
And played Mallory McMallard or whatever from DuckTales.
No, she didn't. I blocked that out. Oh, no.
She was in Clone Wars too. She played Jedi Sakura.
Jennifer Hale is on par with, I forgot her name
Tara
already.
Strong. Jeff Bennett's in here too, guys.
Wow.
Well, yeah, and another one that stood out to me because I was like, I definitely know this voice, and I'm kind of skipping to the last story.
Anastasia?
Tress McNeil, who is Dot from Animaniacs.
Oh, well, you know that Yakko is also in that too, right?
I did not know
Rob
that.
Paulson.
Yeah, he plays I forget, the guy with the monocle.
The Duke or Butler?
The Duke.
That's totally Yakko.
Oh, ironically, Christopher Daniel Barnes couldn't play Prince Eric in The Little Mermaid 2, so Rob Paulson played him.
Wow. That's a small world.
I
was thinking of Tara Strong earlier.
Tara Strong. Yeah, she's great.
The king is played by Andrei Stojka, who has voiced Owl in many of the Winnie the Pooh movies and shows.
Ooh.
Which is very cute.
Ooh, yeah.
I know. An owl joke.
So now we have all of these names except for names of characters. And also Cinderella now has to plan a banquet. This was the most appalling thing to me, was she has to plan a banquet in 2 days. 2 days. Have any of these people actually ever done event planning?
No.
That is a lot.
Apparently not.
Well, apparently Prudence, but also, like, the king was like, Prudence, you're going to teach her. And then Prudence is like, how is she going to know how to throw a banquet? And I'm like, Prudence, that's your job. Like that's literally in your job description from the king is teach her.
Prudence was played by Holland Taylor.
Who that?
She plays the mother in 2.5 Men. She's in Legally Blonde.
I love her.
There we go.
I love her. Oh, wow. That's weird.
Isn't she dating Sarah Paulson right now?
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
She's 20,
That's my queen
20-something
right
years younger than her. You get it, Holland.
I mean, she's a great, it was, great kind of character, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like basic.
Like, I understand Prudence because, this is her job. Why don't you just let her do her job? But the king is like so adamant that Cinderella has to be the one to do this. Like, it's a woman's job. And I'm like,
well, it's a princess job, I guess, to give her something to do. But he literally told Prudence, like, teach her. And then she's like, but how is she going to do this? And it's like, well, teach her.
Teach her the right way.
Teach her, Prudence. That's all you have to do.
Whole movie has songs by Brooke. Oh, God. What's her name?
Brooke Shields?
Allison.
Sorry.
And that song that in the first part, it just sounds like she's yelling.
No. I had the exact same note.
Oh,
so literally I said, I was like, let's make these lyrics, like, let's detract from the crappiness of these lyrics by just belting it as loud as we can, every single word at the same volume. And I was just like, I could not handle it.
Oh, it was the worst. I was like,
Maybe
what
that's
is
why
even
my mom
happening?
told me to shut up all the time. Like, I don't know, because I used to yell this song out.
I mean, I guess it could be fun, but to listen to, not so much.
Wait, but so you actually really like this song then, Brew?
No, see,
No.
there's something called Stockholm Syndrome when it comes to television and movies that you will force yourself on, like, some form of trauma, like, all the time. Like, one thing I didn't like about this movie is that there was no music. Like, none.
And no one actually sang anything.
No one sang anything. And that was why Cinderella, the original, was so great. And you just go through this movie and have this girl yell at the top of her lungs in moments that really didn't need anything. Like, the music did not contribute to not a thing.
It also didn't fit.
It didn't fit.
Sometimes it fit too much. Like, let's go to the second story, which is Jack. Oh my God, this has mice romance, which I said did not need a mice romance in my life. Also,
there's mice romance, there's cat romance, there's like all these different kinds of romance.
Wait, we forgot one thing though in the first story that I need to brought up because
I have one too.
Cinderella's maids, they literally just put a Merryweather as a maid. Did anyone see that?
I didn't really pay attention to them.
All right. She stood to me.
No, go ahead. I was gonna say something.
Go for it.
What are their names?
I don't know. I think that they introduced them, but I cannot remember.
No, I was just staring at the one that was Merryweather.
One was like Daphne, and then the other one is like Beatrice or something close to that, because that sounds legitimate. But they're just replacements for the evil stepmom and the stepsisters. Did you guys pick that up? Like, initially?
No, because they weren't really that terrible.
They weren't traumatic, but in that type of setting with the castle, that's as bad as it's gonna go, because Cinderella technically is a princess. But they were like kind of mean. I'm like,
Well, the one thing that bothered me about that, because I thought that they weren't so bad, but at the same time, there was that one scene where they're all asking, you know, like, is it this or this or this or this or this?
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, guys, you can see how flustered she is. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Also, apparently no one can recognize Cinderella with her hair down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in different clothing.
Also, why is that prince, when the king stuffed everything in the kitchen in the small carriage, the prince is like, all right, I'm just going to ride on the side forever. That was weird.
I saw it too.
I was like, what? He's just going to ride on the outside of the carriage the whole way?
I'm wondering if that was just trying to be like a cute thing, that he was like waving goodbye to her and then was going to step in.
His father fit a whole ass chair in the carriage.
Yeah, the Duke had to shove the king all the way into the middle of the...
That was weird. It was just weird. I guess they're trying to make the king eccentric.
Right. It's comedy.
Yes. One thing I will say about that particular story, I don't know if I can say this, so feel free to cut this out, but why is it that in all three stories, the king's ass was in the air at one point? Like, he just got on all fours.
Comedy.
It was like...
I guess comedy comes in threes.
I guess. So. He's like, ooh, what a pretty moon. And like, you're on all fours with your face down.
Also, since when did Cinderella have any human friends?
That's another thing.
I don't know.
Does it have any notes?
Everyone.
Look,
well, I guess like if she was running errands, you know, she would make friends with the townspeople.
I guess, but that's
so.
Yeah.
I mean, no one helped her from abuse, but you know.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, y'all turned a blind eye.
Except now she's princess. Y'all want something.
But I don't get it, because she, like, in the first one, she's like, these are my friends. And then in the third one, she's calling them by their job. You want to see the baker? Like, he has a name.
She's been royalty for long enough where she doesn't need to know their names.
Can we talk about Jock turning into
let's talk about the second story, where Jock doesn't want to be small anymore. And there is mice romance and then mouse-human romance, and I am very disturbed that I had to write this.
Well, she didn't know he wasn't a mouse.
It doesn't matter, Brie. It's in a movie for kids.
I know, but to give the woman credit, he was a guy at the point.
Okay, so is the fairy godmother, can she just be summoned if someone says, I wish?
I think that's kind of what they were implying. Although
the evil stepmother never said, oh, I wish my daughters could marry rich or something like that?
I think maybe you have to have a certain amount of integrity.
A pure of heart, Candace.
I mean,
you have to be pure and virginal.
So
I don't know.
I don't want to think about the mice.
My favorite fairy godmother thing from this was when the elephant is running at Jock and he's like, yeah, I want to be a mouse again. And she's like, oh, we can totally do that. And then he's waiting there and she's like, what is it? Bippity boppity. What is it again? And I'm like, oh my gosh, you are totally screwing with him right now.
You need to retire right now. If you can't remember the only words that you say, you need to retire.
I actually put in my thing. I'm like, is she just living in the castle now? Is she retired?
I don't know. She's just straight up chilling.
Like, can she do that? If she could do that, then why didn't she like come and help Cinderella like a while ago?
I think that we deserve a backstory on the fairy godmother, because to me, it's starting to seem like she's a little bit obsessed with Cinderella.
Or senile.
Like, you don't help nobody else. No one.
Technically, it's her fairy godmother, right?
I don't know. We don't know this. Like that.
She
must be
also
Jacques
granted
too.
wishes for Jacques, so that's why I'm like, okay.
Maybe because it's a part of her in a way.
So
I don't know.
Okay, so Jock wants to be human because he wants to be able to help Cinderella, and he thinks if he does that, he can be tall. Brooke Allison sings a song about becoming 6'2" and it's wacky hijinks. And then he runs into the Duke and Cinderella, and they just trust him right away. He doesn't get a chance to say he's Jock. And they're just trusting a random man with,
who sounds like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
I feel like there's nobody really evil in the society except for the evil stepmother.
There are people in the gray
you know
area
who's
for
evil
sure.
is Pom Pom.
Oh, that's
true.
true.
Why do the cats gotta get such bad raps?
I mean, I love Lucifer, but I don't like Pom Pom. Pom Pom is the white cat who apparently lives in the castle. We don't know whose cat she is.
She reminded me of the cat from The Great Mouse Detective.
Yes, I didn't even put that 2 and 2 together. Oh yeah. Oh, she was just awful. I was like, why does Cinderella own a cat like this? But I don't think she owned the cat because she just got there and
it's not her cat.
She would get a cat for
it's a king's cat, I guess. Prudence's cat.
It could be just a castle cat meant to kill mice.
Oh well, that makes sense.
Back in the day.
And oh my gosh, and then Cinderella brings in all of these mice and effectively tortures both of them.
I love Lucifer, though. Lucifer could do so much better than Pom Pom.
Oh my god, really? Okay, is there anything else about the second one that you guys want to talk about?
No, it was kind of lame.
Well, I mean...
yeah, it's my least
Compared to what, Vanessa? Compared to what?
I don't know. I mean, the third one I actually kind of enjoyed a little bit, honestly.
Okay, so the third one is about Anastasia. She's fallen in love with the baker, but of course, the stepmother tells when she's in the bakery, everything in the shop is inferior. I put, damn, stepmother is cold.
One of my notes was right after that happened. Cinderella's like, oh, the baker, he has that look in his eyes. You know, he has that look. And Jock is like, what, seasick? And I was like, damn, you savage.
The thing that I hate about this story is that Cinderella goes, oh, I'm going undercover in the market.
Oh, yeah.
And wears the same crusty ass outfit she was wearing in the first movie. Like, everybody has seen you in that outfit. Who are you going undercover for?
They're not that, the town is not that bright.
She has her hair down.
Apparently she thinks they're all
She has her hair down. No, she has her hair down. Nobody can recognize her. Not even her fucking husband.
Like her Clark Clint?
Honestly,
Clint?
Honestly, one of the things...
Clark?
Try again.
Is that like her Clark Kent power?
Thank you, Brie. I
welcome.
was going to kick you out of the Geeky Waffle Club.
No, one of the things that bothered me was, are they carrying yoga mats? Did anyone notice this? They were when the stepsisters and stepmother were walking through town to like get new dress. No, they literally it looked like a yoga mat in a yoga carrying strap.
Is it just like fabric to make their dresses?
No, well, oh maybe, I don't know, but it definitely looks like a yoga mat. I literally could not think of anything else it could be.
I also wrote down they still got invited after being like the worst ever.
That is a good one.
I guess Cinderella is like forgiving.
Teaching us to forgive our abusers? Is that the...
No. I feel like it's just, have kindness in your heart because people aren't always what they seem on the surface.
I guess Anastasia's the least worst of them.
Yeah, Anastasia when she got egged and she went to the fountain and Cinderella was like, "Are you okay? I saw everything." And Anastasia just starts roasting Cinderella for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Calling her a laundry maiden. And I was like, I would have beat her ass right there.
Well, they don't change, they don't change overnight, but I feel like she was headed in the right direction. Although it was really weird to me where she's like, I need a complete makeover, and she did the makeover, and then they're like, okay, well, we'll go to the bakery tomorrow, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna sleep on your hair and your face. I don't understand why you did this makeover and you're not going today.
I mean, granted, Cinderella doesn't have like social skills.
What?
She doesn't have social skills.
I mean, she was locked in a basement attic.
Her best friend are mice.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't know. Maybe she thinks makeovers last 24 hours because of like, well, no, she would know that.
But it wasn't even
less than 12 hours or less than like till midnight.
I don't know. Maybe I can't make excuses for her.
When the mice are like, oh, what about the Anastasia story? And the godmother goes, Cinderella's stepsister Anastasia? I'm like, damn, how many Anastasias do you know?
Maybe it's a really popular baby name at the time.
No, I think the best part was the transition from the magic to talking about Anastasia. Because right prior to that, they used some of Fairy Godmother's magic to get the scissors, the crayons, and it was just so messy. And
I said, some mice gonna die.
And like, I think Mary, the girl mouse, was like, oh, that was messy. And Jacques was like, we've seen worse. You remember when Anastasia...
I told you, he's savage. He's a little savage mouse. No, what's with everyone flinging themselves onto fountains dramatically?
I don't know. I don't get it. But you do notice how the fairy godmother did not come to Anastasia when she was crying at that fountain. Because it felt like everybody was crying at that fountain.
I know.
Did she say I wish?
Did she?
No.
No. Because Cinderella said I wish.
What if she said, you see, might be a little interesting. They could have done like a full movie on maybe Anastasia getting a fairy godmother. No, that wouldn't work out.
No, wait, Brie. Can't wait till you see the third one.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have fun. The third one is a sight for not sore eyes.
Yeah.
The third one is entertaining. This one I was very bored in.
I was too. Like, I was really ready for it to end. And can we talk just one thing about the end where they see Cinderella walking by and they're like, we're going to go give her the book. And then they start like racing after her. And then they still don't catch up to her for like a while. And I was like, she just passed by and she's going way slower than you guys.
You know, I never really thought about that. And that makes me mad. I think I'm going to just go ahead and burn my DVD.
Well, because Brew, since you loved this movie as a kid, how did it hold up?
I would prefer if I never ever saw this again, because it did not age well at all. And then again, no one should ever ask me if I like a movie because my threshold is just if I like it, it's automatically corny. So that's where I'm just like, oh, okay. I could see where I went wrong with this one and why people looked at me weird when I said Cinderella 2 was my favorite Disney movie.
Yeah. Well, you know, it honestly, I don't this series, if for nothing else, has made me realize that you cannot judge anyone for what they liked as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Because we all liked something as a kid that we're watching now and going, what in the hell were we thinking?
I don't
Okay.
know.
That was the Mighty Ducks series.
Exactly.
Oh, dang.
Oh gosh, I can't believe you, Candace.
I was a child.
Then again, you also like the Enchanted Christmas. So
Bree, you went to see the Ninja Turtles live,
Wow.
and you loved it.
I did.
Out of the shell.
All right, can we-
we're coming out of the shell.
Can we also just say Rotten Tomatoes scores?
Yes. Oh, okay. First, how
Oh,
much
no.
do you guys think the budget is for this?
Not much. $20.
$20 in the pack of gum.
I mean, they didn't even sing in it. So how much could it have cost?
Well, they paid someone to belt horribly. Oops.
Yikes.
Yes, $20.
Okay. Anybody else gonna up that bid? $1?
I don't know, like maybe 50,000. $1 million. I don't know.
Okay. It was $5 million.
Oh,
What?
jeez.
Oh, no.
Wait, $5 million and they still couldn't afford to give the prince a personality.
He couldn't even get a name. Bree.
I know, but I think the most personality is like, I'm going to ride on the carriage.
I mean, he does have a name.
He
First
has,
name
like-
Prince, last
He
name
has
Charming,
5 to 10 lines.
middle name Jamal.
Middle name Jamal.
Prince Jamal Charming.
It would give him some color, at least.
Because Lord.
Okay, so can you guys guess how much this made?
$2.
Yeah, there you go.
Higher.
$5.
Higher.
10,000.
Bree. They made a third one.
Okay, sorry. If that's the case, I'm going to say, gosh, 10 million?
On a $5 million budget, you think that would be a success for them?
No, oh, gosh, 200 million?
No, 120 million.
All right,
Wow.
well, I overshot it the last time.
Okay. And Vanessa, you already know the critics' Rotten Tomatoes score,
I
right?
do.
Okay, Bree, do you guys know it?
I'm going to say 12%.
I'm going to, I don't know, 7?
Brew got closest, but she did go over. It was 11%.
Yeah,
I was I gasped because I was like, wow.
Oh, so I would have won on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Price is
you
Right
would-
rules, you would have won. You would have won.
Closest without going over. So, some of the quotes are, a screaming black vortex of total irredeemable awfulness. Just do not see this film. If Disney Cinderella's proved a dream is a wish your heart makes, then Cinderella 2 proves a nightmare is a wish a studio's wallet makes.
Oh, savage.
Yeah, a savage's jock.
This is so
This
crazy.
too bad there's not a review from Jock that said this made me seasick.
Though the audience percent point was 32%. So there were a few
What?
people that
It
liked it.
It was all little Bruce voting.
Yeah.
All
You
little
know,
Bruce going, I like this.
I'm just over here considering, because I know that they said that it was well received. It made money, but it was still negative. So that's why I'm like,
Well,
You're
some
not
of
wrong.
the higher star ratings, the comments are, one of them is Cinderella. That's it.
that was
it.
Brew. That was Brew.
And another one
10
is
years ago.
very nice and attractive movie.
what?
Those were bots.
Those are definitely bots. I mean, I will give them this. The animation better than the Return of Jafar. Like, hands down.
I feel like you guys say that
Right?
every single time, and
I
Everything.
will. It's my threshold. Is it better animation than Return of Jafar? Yes.
I don't know. I thought it was
Everyone
pretty
said
whack.
it looked like. Oh, I'm sorry. What did you
No,
say?
I think that the animation for Cinderella 2 was kind of like whack, but I have this thing with like digital animation that it just looks cheap in some places.
Yeah,
Which one
some
was
of the
it?
flowing.
I think it was the first story where they were at the ball and the king said something. He was like carry on and party, but it was his body, and then it just felt like stick figures in the back, but you hear them like cheering on like a crowd, but they're not moving. And that just bugged me. So I'm just like, I don't think that is.
Also, as a king, he's serving prunes to everyone. Like every ball.
Oh,
like that's like the most horrendous ball to go to.
Gus saying stewed prunes still makes me laugh like 3 times. Like, stewed prunes.
Another thing on the animation, Alex, my fiance, came in and while I was watching this, and he was like, "What are you watching?" And I was like, "Cinderella 2." And he's like, "The animation is so bad, just from like 2 seconds of seeing it."
Mm-hmm.
Better than Return to Jafar.
I mean, it's just comparing it with the original, which is just beautiful.
Oh, well, yeah, I know.
Oh, at the end of the credits, there's a tribute to the original Cinderella. It reads, "This film would not have been possible without the inspiration from the original motion picture and the work of the talented
Sherlock
animators."
Oh, and they did all over them.
I hope nobody who worked on this movie is listening.
Sorry. I don't know. They got paid. That's right.
They got a check off
Hopefully
of that.
I was about to say, continue to get checks off of that.
It's fine. Yeah, they're fine. I'm sorry, it wasn't up to par. But I think they know that.
I didn't think... Okay, so here's the thing.
For
I
sure.
didn't hate it. At the same time, I did not, like... I do not see the point in ever watching it again.
I think the best part of the movie was Savage Jock. That's it.
They should have just had a roast.
Yeah. That would have been more entertaining.
I would have watched an hour and 19 minutes of just Jock just like straight up like demolishing, eviscerating everyone in that movie.
Everyone. Like no holds bar.
Yeah, I thought this movie was gonna like give Cinderella a personality, but I really feel like I don't know.
Yeah, like I didn't understand why they decided to go the 3 short story routes other than just like kind of a continuation of the story. Yeah, I don't know.
For some reason, I don't know why, but I kind of vaguely remembered the Anastasia portion. But in my head, I thought it was Cinderella like helping more so. Like I thought it was like a full movie of like maybe like adventures with them and like almost like an Emma. You know?
I mean, they tried their best to redeem Anastasia, but for those of you who haven't, well, firstly, I feel like Cinderella 2 should have been like Cinderella 1.5. It didn't need to be a part 2. It didn't add anything to the story. No. And then when you watch Cinderella 3, it gets even more convoluted because you now have 2 movies who add nothing to Cinderella's character. That's me.
Fun. So they're just pointless. Great.
Absolutely. The best Cinderella will always be Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella with Brandy and Whitney.
Brandy.
That's right.
Chef's kiss.
Beautiful. And Ever After.
That's honestly, I was watching this and all the entire time I was thinking, man, I should watch Ever After again.
So good. It's
in
so
all
good.
honesty, the live action version of Cinderella for Disney is like one of my favorites.
I haven't seen it.
The remake?
Yeah, but that's just comparing it with the other stuff, I think.
I haven't seen it.
That and Jungle Book, I think, are the best.
I haven't seen either of them.
I don't think I've ever seen Jungle Book.
I know Christopher Walken does the monkey's voice.
And he has cowbells.
More cowbells.
Would you suggest this for an adult to watch?
No.
Cinderella. No, okay, there we go.
Straight up, no.
Would you suggest this for a child to watch?
I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's okay for a kid.
Babysitting,
as long as you don't have to be in the same
distraction, put it on.
Yeah. Okay. Do you guys have any more feelings you would like to talk about?
Please, no more of the songs.
Okay.
Next time they do a Cinderella movie, just have them sing.
Straight up goal, though, I think at the very end when you just are, the camera's moving back and you just see the fairy godmother just sleeping in a chair. And I'm like, straight up just chilling. And you know what? Savage mode. She's like, I've done my duty. I'm just going to plant myself here.
I think she's officially retired at this point. Like, she couldn't remember in that second story. So she was like, you know what?
After the Jock debacle, I think they forced her out.
Guys, I really don't think she didn't remember. I think she's just like, I really enjoy screwing with people now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, she could have just been like,
she's probably like immortal and stuff and really bored. doesn't know what else to do.
That's why I'm saying hashtag fairy godmother movie. Like, I'm about it.
Yeah.
Like, let me know about her life. Where is she at right now?
She's like, I want to see Cinderella almost to the breaking point.
I'd watch this movie.
And then she was like, I'm going to hook her up with a prince so I can ride along and get a little room in the castle.
Could you imagine? That would be the greatest story. Why hasn't this been written? Let's do it.
All right. Geeky Waffle presents the fairy godmother story.
That's it.
The true story.
The true story, yeah.
Because you imagine, like, somebody's like, I see it as like a, what's it called? Like a spin off of the movie She's All That. Where they're like, somebody tells her, I bet you can't make someone a princess in X days. Ooh. And she's like, I got this, bro. And she goes and she finds Cinderella.
I feel like if the other, like, fairy godparents, I guess, saw that, they'd be like, oh, she on X game mode.
Not X game.
No, that's reminds me of an extremely goofy movie, and I say no. Okay, so, Brew, can you tell people how to find you online?
Yeah, you can find me at Sincerely Brew on Twitter. You can also find me on YouTube for Brew Covers. I do video essays and I do quick videos on how to film like a pro.
Cool. And also you can find her writing on thegeekywaffle.com.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, Bree, where can you find us?
Well, you can also go to thegeekywaffle.com and just see what we all do. You'll find Brew's writing and our podcast and other Geeky Waffle writers' writings and musings. And also check us out online. We have a Twitter, which is
Geeky_waffles.
Boom.
Waffle.
Geeky. So at Geeky_waffle. Check us out on Twitter. And then also we have a Facebook community group, which you guys should join. The Geeky Waffles, and we just post memes, and we, it's a very safe spot for all geeks, so come join us.
Okay, great. Thank you all for watching this horrible movie with me.
You're welcome.
Anytime, I'd do it again.
Yeah, thanks, Brew, for suggesting it. Really appreciate it.
Yes. You can just hear that dripping moment. Listen, I don't want you to talk. You made us watch the Mighty Ducks movie.
It was on the list.
This
was on the list too. We would have gotten to this eventually. Okay. Well, thank you all for being here. We hope you have a happily ever after until the sequel.